Welcome back to Heli's Audio English. This is part 2 of Having a Baby with the Villain. If you thought part 1 was intense, you're not ready for what's coming next. Ethan Song clenched his jaw. No, we did some digging, and James Thornton seems like he's about to die. What? Can we even confirm that? If he's really dead, who are we supposed to extort ransom from? And what do we do with her? Don't panic, Ethan said coldly. A twisted smile crept onto his lips. Even if James dies, there's no way he'd let anyone else touch his precious little darling. That childhood bond of theirs? The Thornton family would pay millions just to maintain appearances. I blinked in disbelief. Well, aren't you informed? I muttered. Even the fact that James and I had known each other since childhood. He'd dug that up too? This man had done his homework. Ethan smirked. His icy fingers reached for my throat, tightening slowly. Like a snake finally revealing its fangs after lying still too long. Don't you recognize me? He whispered. Look closely. Don't I seem familiar? I forced myself to look up. His elongated eyes, high bridge nose, sunken cheeks. All covered by thick makeup, concealing surgical scars. His face had been completely rebuilt by science and obsession. You really are Miss Carter, graceful, but terribly forgetful. Before he could say another word, there was a knock on the steel basement door. Mary. She walked in, carrying food, her attitude oddly deferential. Ethan laughed mockingly. You really thought your housekeeper would save you, even with death staring you in the face? I looked at Mary. She met my gaze, then turned away in shame. I'm sorry, she mumbled. They offered too much money. My heart sank. While I sat there helpless, the kidnappers dug in and feasted, laughing like they were on a picnic. Ethan wiped his mouth, clearly ready to humiliate me some more. But before he could speak, his eyes widened. And thud, he collapsed. So did the other two men. Mary gave a sharp whistle. 3 hulking men stepped out from the shadows. In a flash, Ethan and his cronies were tied up and gagged. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Mary said gently, helping me to my feet. I gave her a weak smile and a thumbs up. Nice work, Spy Squad. Those guys yours? Mary hesitated, then said softly, they're not mine. They're Mr. Thornton's men. I froze. So Mary was a spy working for the villain. And her helpers were his spies too? She scratched her cheek awkwardly. Mr. Thornton placed people around you a long time ago. His instructions were to make sure both you and the baby were safe and well cared for. My limbs went numb. So, James had known about the baby all along? And I thought I'd been running from him? In reality, I'd been running right into his net. Mary's tone grew heavy. And the kidnappers weren't wrong. Mr. Thornton is currently unconscious. His condition is uncertain. She paused. We hope, ma'am, that you'll return to City C with us. I said nothing at first. But my answer was firm. All right, I didn't believe for 1 second that James was dying. He was the villain, not the male lead. People like him don't go down that easily. But what really pissed me off was being played like a fool. I wasn't some puppet in anyone's story. Even if he was the villain, I wasn't going to let myself lose. Mary called her team and began hauling the kidnappers away. Get ready to head back to City C, she ordered. As we stepped outside, I was met with a sight that left me speechless. Lined up in front of me were 20 muscle-bound men, all nodding respectfully. Have you all been hiding near me this whole time? I asked. Not just us, ma'am, one of them replied. There are 18 more brothers stationed near the hospital. Impressive. Mary asked, shall we bring the kidnappers back to Mr. Thornton for punishment? Ethan Song lay on the ground, still unconscious, filthy like a discarded rag. Hand them over to the police, I said flatly. Bringing them back would just cost us 3 plane tickets. They're not worth it. Back at the apartment, I packed up nothing. I had barely anything to begin with. But I didn't leave alone. I returned with 30 men, trained and dangerous. Studio microphone. You're listening to Heli's Audio English. And this story is just getting started. At first, I thought Mary was bluffing. But I was wrong. James Thornton really was sick. He had been in a coma for an entire week. Unmoving, unresponsive, all of his vitals were normal, but he just wouldn't wake up. With his eyes closed, he looked nothing like the cold, dangerous villain I remembered. No, he looked adorable. Those long curled lashes framed his pale face, and the tiny red mole beneath his eye made him look almost innocent. Sigh. If only you hadn't turned out to be the villain, I murmured. Life would have been so much easier. If he had just been a sweet supporting character. Or even a knockoff version of the male lead. At least he wouldn't be the one destined for a tragic end. I leaned my head against my hand, watching him quietly for hours. There was still no sign of him waking. So I leaned in and whispered near his ear. If you don't wake up soon, your baby's gonna end up calling someone else Dad. Then, just to tease, I started listing off potential candidates for new dad out loud. That's when his eyes opened. Those familiar black eyes, clear and deep, suddenly stared into mine, filled with something dark, unreadable. I froze and scooted my chair back slightly, awkwardly smiling. I was, just introducing some father figure options to the baby. Without a word, James grabbed my wrist tightly. His eyes were focused, but wary. Guarded, like he didn't know who I was. He looked confused, distant, even disappointed. I waved my hand in front of his face. Do you remember who I am? He just kept staring at me, saying nothing. Studio microphone, you're listening to Heli's audio English. Honestly, I was kind of amused. Could he have lost his memory? I excitedly hit the call button, and the doctor came rushing in. He asked James several questions. Normally, James would have been annoyed. But now? He answered each one like a well-behaved schoolboy. After the exam, the doctor turned to me. Miss Carter, from what we can tell, Mr. Thornton is experiencing temporary amnesia. His memory function appears to be disrupted. Can it be treated? We'll do our best. James, meanwhile, just sat there calmly, sipping porridge while I spoon-fed him. It was kind of cute. I pulled a colorful lollipop from my pocket. Hey baby, want a treat? I cooed. Call me Miss Carter, and you can have this delicious sweet. He glanced at the lollipop. Then at me. Then at the assistant. Miss Carter, he said obediently. The assistant looked like he was dying inside. You really shouldn't tease Mr. Thornton like this. Tease? I huffed, unwrapping the candy. If he doesn't want it, I'll eat it myself. I popped the lollipop into my mouth and crunched down, loudly. Let him drool in envy. But not long after, he got tired again and was taken back to the recovery room with Mary's help. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about him. So the next morning, I got up earlier than usual, ready to sneak in and mess with his memory a bit more. But when I opened the door, there he was, sitting upright in bed, a book in his hand. The moment he heard me enter, he looked up. Calm, collected, sharp. My gut twisted. Something felt off. Sure enough, when I stepped closer, James closed the book gently. Nia, he said, come here. You remember everything? I clutched the doorframe, cold sweat sliding down my spine. No way. In every drama I've ever seen, the male lead stays amnesiac for at least 20 episodes. How did James recover just by taking one nap? What's wrong? He asked. You're not coming over? Do I need to carry you here myself? He lifted the blanket. No thanks. I lowered my head and trudged over, feeling like I was walking to my own execution. What's wrong? He asked, smiling. Not happy that I remembered? That wasn't it. If I'm being honest, James had always treated me well. Even as a child, he would hold my hand and walk me to school. During lunch breaks, he'd buy me ice cream, chase away bees, and then go back to class and clean up while I napped. Studio microphone, you're listening to Heli's audio English. James used his own allowance to buy me snacks and toys. After the fall field trip, our bus crashed. Everyone was panicking, screaming. But James was the only one who ran back inside the burning vehicle to get me out. He held me tightly in his arms, shielding me, whispering calming words in my ear. His arm got badly burned that day. The scar is still there. Ugly, permanent. He really did love me like a little sister. And maybe that's why, what happened that night, made it even harder for me to face him now. I rubbed my belly. There was life inside me now, new, unfamiliar, terrifying. But not unwanted. James, I whispered, we were both drunk that night. It was a huge misunderstanding. Can we just pretend it never happened? Pretend it never happened, he repeated slowly. You wanted to go into that room with Julian Hayes, didn't you? His fingers brushed against my cheek, feather light, sending a shiver down my spine. I couldn't say anything. He already knew the truth. If he wanted to investigate, it would have taken him less than an hour. "Nia," he said quietly, cupping my chin in both hands, "look at me." There was a faint smile on his pale face, but it wasn't kind. It was unhinged. "You're so naive," he murmured. "Drunk men don't do that to women they don't want." He leaned down and kissed me lightly on the forehead. Just a brush, but it burned. The spot where his lips touched felt like fire. I froze. Then panic surged in my chest, and I shoved him away, running, bolting for the door. Before I left, I glanced back, and saw him lying on the bed, grinning lazily at me. That smile. God, if only he had lost his memory. I must be losing my mind. Mary helped me into the car. I didn't even know when I fell asleep. When I woke again, I was in a strange bedroom. Soft floral scent in the air. The room was luxurious, but unfamiliar. Definitely not mine, and not James's, either. Mary brought in a tray of warm milk. I stood at the window, staring out in silence. "Madam," she said softly, "Mr. Thornton instructed that you stay here during your pregnancy. He's hired a full medical team and house staff to care for you." "Can I go out?" Mary lowered her head. "Mr. Thornton has arranged everything for your well-being. Studio microphone, you're listening to Heli's audio English." I understood. This was nothing but a golden cage. A well-furnished, air-conditioned prison. I rubbed my forehead. I could still feel the heat of his kiss there. My palms felt warm. Even my heartbeat was off rhythm. Damn it. James Thornton is so confusing. Later that afternoon, I sat in the garden cracking sunflower seeds, trying to distract myself. I also started investigating the staff, chefs, dishwashers, gardeners. Turned out, their salaries were higher than mine when I worked in the city. Double, in fact. Mary smiled. "Mr. Thornton pays them extra. He just wants them to take good care of you. He truly loves you, madam." The housekeeper chimed in, nodding. "I've never seen a man love his wife like this. Look," she added, "these dishes? All your favorites. Mr. Thornton personally instructed us to prepare them this morning." Love? I laughed bitterly inside. There's no way James Thornton loves me. He just cares about the baby. Mother cherished for the child's sake. That's all. Maybe it was the pregnancy hormones. But I was sleeping more than usual lately. Napping through most of the day. James never came home. Not once. Which made it painfully clear. To him, I was just a vessel. An incubator. Because of the baby's health, Mary suggested I find a hobby to pass the time. "When can I go outside?" I asked one morning. I peeked through the curtains. And saw security guards surrounding the entire villa. 2 shifts. Day and night. All eyes on me. I guess they really thought I'd try to escape. Mary didn't answer my question. Instead, she turned and quietly brought back an easel and a set of paints. In my past life, my father had been a gambler. Every cent we had went into his debts. I used to watch other children take their sketchbooks to the park on weekends, full of envy. After transmigrating into this novel, the very first thing I did was sign myself up for art classes. And the person I drew the most was James Thornton. From the time he was 10 until he graduated high school, I had drawn him more than I had ever taken selfies. But once he turned 18, I wasn't allowed to draw him anymore. Our relationship grew distant, colder, and when I started working for the male leads company, James became even more detached, almost hostile. Sigh. The heart of a man really is like a needle at the bottom of the ocean. I picked up the brush and hesitated. For some reason, what flashed through my mind wasn't James, but the sharp-edged face of Ethan Song. What if I sketched him based on facial bone structure, then reconstructed what he looked like before surgery? I froze. I stared at the face on the paper. Maybe I had known him before. James was kidnapped at age 5. His adoptive parents bought him and immediately started abusing him, treating him like a stray dog they'd reluctantly taken in. Even the village children followed suit. They called him a bastard. A mutt. The one who bullied him the most? A boy named Theo Song. He led a group of little thugs that tormented James daily. I remembered. In the novel, Theo met a brutal end. When James finally rose to power, he tortured Theo so severely that he no longer looked human. But if Ethan Song was Theo Song all grown up, Shouldn't he be long dead by now? How did he survive to get plastic surgery and become a kidnapper? I had seen Theo a few times when we were younger, mostly when he was beating up James and getting his butt kicked by me in return. The last time I saw him, he was running through the forest. Terrified because people were whispering that James had killed his dog. That dog, King. King was the biggest dog James's adoptive family owned, and his only friend. Even when James was beaten bloody, he refused to say where King was buried. If he did, King would end up on someone's dinner table. He was beaten until he vomited blood, but he never spoke, just stared at Theo with frozen, lifeless eyes. That's when I realized, even villains have flesh and blood. Even villains can love. King's death was caused by Theo. James's revenge wasn't just cruelty. It was grief. To everyone else, King was just an old mutt. But to James, he was childhood itself. That's why I tried so hard to help James reunite with his biological mother early. To get him out. To give him a real home. Maybe I changed Theo's fate in doing so. When I couldn't reach James, I handed the portrait I'd drawn to Mary. Madam, Ethan's song escaped. Welcome back to Heli's Audio English. This is part 2 of Having a Baby with the Villain. If you thought part 1 was intense, you're not ready for what's coming next. My heart skipped a beat. But don't worry, she quickly added. He's already been caught again. Security is tight both inside and outside. And Mr. Thornton is coming back soon. That did bring some relief. But there was something in Mary's tone that made me pause. For the first time, I gave her a cold glare. Call James. Tell him if he doesn't come right now, I'll take his child and jump off this floor. Mary looked at me, realized I wasn't joking, and rushed to make the call. Less than 30 minutes later, James Thornton returned, but this time, he was in a wheelchair. His left leg was heavily bandaged. His hair, normally styled to perfection, was a mess, like he'd flown straight from the battlefield. Nia, please, come here, he said. He wheeled closer, one hand outstretched. His fingers trembled. His normally cold eyes were filled with something I'd never seen before. Panic. And fear. Pushpin, you're listening to Heli's Audio English. Stay with us. The story is only growing deeper. Don't come any closer. I sat by the window, picked up the nearest pillow, and hurled it at his head. Tell me, James, when did you find out that Ethan's song was actually Theo's song? I only confirmed it after he escaped prison, he said. Then why wouldn't you let me out? James picked the pillow off the floor, dusted it off carefully, and handed it back to me. It's dangerous outside. I just wanted to make sure you're safe. He smiled gently. Nia, wherever you want to go. I'll go with you. I don't need you to. I muttered and turned away from the window. But for some reason, he pulled me into his arms. My heart pounded so violently, I thought it might leap out of my chest. He wrapped me tightly, especially around my belly. But then I felt it. My clothes were soaked. The wound on James's leg must have reopened. Blood had soaked through the bandages, seeping into my clothes. He held me tighter, his expression unreadable. Close the window. Mary came in to help me change. In the 8th month of pregnancy, my belly had grown so big I could barely move my limbs properly. Getting dressed on my own felt like an Olympic event. Of course, who wouldn't want to be pampered? Mary quietly tidied up after me. Madam, Mr. Thornton found out Ethan's song escaped and feared he might come back to hurt you, so he arranged for this place and put us on 24/7 watch. He didn't want to risk leaking your location, so he hasn't come to visit, but he has us report your meals and every little movement, every single day. I'd known Mary was always watching me, but I hadn't realized it was because of James's concern. A strange, sour warmth spread inside me. Something I'd never felt before. So, he really cares about this baby, huh? No, madam. Mary shook her head. Mr. Thornton never mentioned the baby. He only said to take care of you. Every morning, he sends fresh roses for your table. All he wants is for you to be happy, every single day. Before Ethan was caught, he feared waiting too long would put you at risk. So he went after him, alone. I touched my belly. It was hard to believe. Had James really done all that, silently? That's enough, Mary. I cut her off. You're a capable assistant, sure, but I'm tired now. I want to sleep. After all the chaos, my eyelids were heavy. When I woke up, the room was dark, windows tightly shut. I couldn't tell if it was day or night. You're awake? James's deep voice came from the darkness. It was unusually soft. I curled deeper into the blanket. Strangely, his voice made my cheeks flush. Thank God the lights were off. I'm going back to sleep. I faked a yawn and buried my face in the pillow. James was quiet for a moment. Don't pretend anymore. Let's go take a walk. His hand reached into the blanket, lifted me up, and gently helped me put on socks. To be pampered like this by the villain of the story. It was surreal. I licked my lips and kicked his uninjured knee. Mary said, "You like me." Is that true? James froze. In the dark, all I could hear was my own rapid heartbeat. The anticipation in me was impossible to hide. No. He patted my calf. The other foot. He helped me into the remaining slipper. HMPH. I knew it. I'm just a walking incubator to you. This time, when I kicked him, he grabbed my ankle. His calloused fingers slowly traced the curve of my skin, and my body trembled like it had been electrocuted. James frowned. Who said incubators could be this clingy? Clingy? I wanted to die from embarrassment. This is called interrogation, not flirting. He massaged my calf gently. His breath was warm, his deep voice low and seductive. Don't you already know who I like, Nia? Now he was flipping the script. How would I know? You act all happy around others. You changed after you turned 18. You became distant. You wouldn't even let me draw you anymore. Nia, he sighed, exasperated. After those last drawings, I kept dreaming of you. In the dark, his eyes burned with longing. I felt like a beast. You were only 16. I froze. When I processed it, my cheeks burned. So you started avoiding me? Yes. But by the time I accepted my feelings, there was already someone else in your eyes. His voice turned cold. It was true. In all those years, I'd chased after the male lead. And completely missed the real one. I can't look at you. I changed the subject, pushing his wheelchair forward. His wound was still bleeding. We walked in silence. Then I remembered. In the original novel, things ended very differently between James and me. Why did Theo kidnap me and hurt you? Years ago, he came to me, asked for help and a loan, said it was for old times' sake. I refused. I guess he held a grudge. Old times? I scoffed. He bullied you. He killed King. You never thought of revenge? I did. He looked out the window. I once wanted to crush every bone in his body and throw him to the sharks. That was the original ending. Why didn't you? Because. James turned to me. You once told me something. What? He smirked. A secret. I rolled my eyes. He smiled as he stood up. Well, tried to. His leg still injured. Later, the assistant handed me a towel and locked us in the bathroom. What the hell? Did they really expect a pregnant woman to help someone bathe? Through the frosted glass, I could see the vague outline of his figure. Despite everything, I couldn't help but remember that night. James looked skinny, but his body under those clothes. The bathroom door creaked open. He emerged, wearing a robe loosely tied, towel in hand. Droplets ran down his sharp jawline, past his collarbone, and into the parts hidden under that thin robe. He looked sinfully good. I gulped. Curious? He caught me staring. Not in your condition. I chucked a pillow at his head. He laughed, then got dressed like a nun. Even his neck was covered. Coward. In the final month, I grew heavier, slower. James stayed with me most days, unless work called. One morning, as I strolled the hallways, I heard a voice downstairs. Mary was speaking with a girl. She's here to collect documents Mr. Thornton forgot, she said. The girl looked up at me. Beautiful. Almond eyes. A mole between her brows. Could she be the female lead? You work for Gavin Shoes Company, right? I asked. How did you know? She gasped. I almost worked there, but I heard they deduct salaries. Luckily, Mr. Thornton personally invited me to his company. He did what? My head buzzed. What the hell was he playing at? A love triangle with the female lead now? My stomach cramped. Everything went blurry. Mary rushed to my side. My water had broken. Yep. James Thornton made me so mad I went into early labor. I didn't know when I gave birth. But waking up hurt everywhere. Seeing James next to me hurt more. Where does it hurt? He asked, wiping my tears. Go away. I wanted to throw something at him. Nia, don't get upset. You just gave birth. My foster mom barged in. Did James bully you again? He brought another woman home to piss me off. I wailed. She glared at him. Really? James sighed. Mom, can I talk to her alone? She left. Let's get divorced, I said. But we weren't even married. Then let's get married first, then divorce. I barked. Don't say nonsense. He gently wiped my face. Mia, please, don't do this. What's your deal with her? Why did you bring her in? He kneeled beside my bed. Do you want her to end up with Gavin Shu? Would that make it easier for you to leave this world? I choked. So you brought her here to stop me from leaving? It was all I could think of, he admitted hoarsely. Silence. Who told you that would work? Since that night in the wrong bed. I've never been able to go back, I whispered. James stared, then smiled like he'd won the lottery. Really? I stuck out my tongue. Just kidding. He chuckled, but tears gathered in his eyes. My chest ached. Truth is, I never planned to go back. I turned over his arm. Pointed at the rose tattoo. From the moment you inked that, I decided to stay. A handsome, rich villain who protects me with his life. How could I walk away? I tried so hard to stay strong. But you kept pulling away. James pulled me into his arms. Sorry, he whispered, kissing my forehead. Warm tears rolled down my neck. I patted his back. This time, I would be the one comforting him. What are we now, James? He didn't answer. My foster mom peeked in. Then burst in holding a baby. Look, a beautiful little princess. Doesn't she look just like you? I looked down. The baby was, meh. She looks like James. No way I was that wrinkly as a baby. James took her to be changed and fed. My foster mom sat down beside me. Did you resent me when I sent you away? No, but why did you? She handed me a journal. His diary, she whispered. I read it. That's when I realized. James had schizophrenia. I opened the cover. It started when he was 9. Today Mia played games with me. Mia helped me fight off bullies. Mia found my toy. Mia said I should be good. Each page held a piece of his childhood. I think I like the way Mia treats me. Mia will hate me. I want to be a good big brother. I hate myself. I'm disgusting. Later pages grew darker. I dreamed Mia died. I was tortured. I killed people. Mia will never come back. Mia's gone. I shut the book. Tears streaming. James entered, wiping my face. Why are you crying again? He asked, exasperated. I hugged him tightly. You owe me a lifetime of pampering now. Deal. I sniffled. Let Sabrina go back to Gavin Shu's company. Don't mess with them anymore. He hesitated, then nodded. Okay, whatever you say. In the end, I gave back the main characters to each other. To me, Gavin Shu was just an arrogant CEO. He never brought me home. He never won. But James? He was mine, even in the wrong world. He was the right one. Headphone, you've reached the end of having a baby with the villain on Heli's Audio English. Speech balloon, like, subscribe, and leave a comment to tell us what you think. See you in the next story, Dizzy.